The main man behind the music stand at the Boston Symphony Orchestra, that is. Last time Andris Nelsons joined us, we learned he can play with the best of them, too. Joining me now, sadly, without trumpet, is BSO music director Andris Nelsons. Andris, it's great to see you.
Great to see you. Good to be back.
Is it true you're going from here to throw the first pitch out at Fenway?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know anything about baseball?
Well, I actually did my first pitch 4 years ago.
I heard this. How'd that go?
Too high.
Well, wait. First of all, my understanding is you met the most famous pitcher. Oh, there you are. How'd that go? Whoops, I guess it went over the head of the catcher.
It's over the head, exactly.
But you met the most famous pitcher of all time. Did you know who he was?
Yes. After they told me that, that's him, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know before who he was.
I didn't know before.
Did he know who you were?
Just a fat guy. He looked, So I think he thought this guy won't. So that's why he gave the advice to throw higher.
And you threw it over the guy's head.
And I saw too high.
So wait a second. So one of the most famous baseball players who ever lived, one of the most famous conductors who ever lived, he didn't know you, you didn't know him? No.
Probably not.
Okay, fine. Were you an athlete growing up in Latvia?
It's hard to believe, but I was. Because
what were you good at?
I did martial arts. And at first I liked football, soccer.
Soccer, yeah.
Europe, but then I did martial arts and then started the period of a lot of music and getting fatter and no.
My understanding, stop with the fatter. You ever heard of this movie, Genius on Fire? Have you ever heard of this movie before with Andris Nelsons featuring? Well, yes, you have. So speaking of Taekwondo, I think we have a little footage of you doing the Taekwondo. What I'm always, or baby pictures or something of you, how much of your music and how much of your worldview was shaped growing up in the Soviet Union as a little boy? How much of you today is that?
I think it is a lot from that, but I think it's not. I wouldn't say that this is a particular regime, or it's just my memories of my how my parents raised me. I remember now, my greatest summers with my grandparents. I remember the smell of the grass, and this was the country, very simple, poor, but. So I remember those feelings, and anything what to do with the feelings and smells that or anything associated with my childhood. That's what's me.
But there's a piece of it. You are free now, almost anywhere in the world, to say and do and play anything you want. Were you free as a boy? Were your parents free as adults to say and do what they wanted in Latvia? Were they?
No. In terms of your political views or religious views, or actually any really views, particularly my parents were also teachers. They could not say anything beyond what's in the books, But I was too small maybe to understand the seriousness of that, and I was free to say my parents what I feel about, and they told me, but don't say that.
So let's fast forward to 4 years this month, yes, since you were named the conductor, yes, 4 years?
Yeah.
Do you feel, I've read a lot about you, traveling the world. I mean, and your wife is in a different city, and you have a child now. Do you feel like you have a home for the first time now? I mean, you've really connected to Boston. Does it feel like you're home?
It does, absolutely. I mean, of course, musically, it is my home, absolutely. And also, I'm here about 4 months or more in a year, and plus Tanglewood, so it is emotionally so much attached to Boston. That, of course, the orchestra and the city and the gym now. I'm starting and the food and the people and everything. So, and also the plans, what goes ahead, and we are planning. Yes.
Does that make you able to do your job better because you're more settled than you've been earlier in your career?
I think when you settle, it makes more deeper digging, how to say that. You know, you
Yeah.
can concentrate more and deeper, and then to find, you know, each musician closer connection, and therefore also closer connection to music, I think.
Speaking of digging deeper, I just made a little list here. Beyond the BSO, 2 recordings, Shostakovich, that obviously won Grammys 2 years in a row. Now this, all 4 Brahms symphonies, partnership, revolutionary partnership with the Leipzig Orchestra that almost no one else is doing. Expanded Tanglewood. Do you worry that this is too much, that you're overextended, Andris, or is this exactly what you want?
I must say it was kind of a dream, you know, to have something like that. I mean, I'm lucky. I have the 2 absolutely amazing world-class best orchestras in the world, and also what is so great, they're alliance, and they're friends, and we are friends, and also the 2 great cities with a great culture, great quality of life. If you don't watch too much of, you know, certain things,
And spend too much time at the gym. One last thing before you go. Last time you were here, I asked you to make a commitment. Here's what you said. I heard from some Latvian guy one day, it may have been you, that all Latvians sing. So I'd like you to raise your right hand. Again, next time I am in Greater Boston,
Next time in Greater Boston, yeah.
I will sing for the people of New England. Is that a deal?
Yeah.
Now, I heard you're reneging on the deal, but I'm told the commitment you're going to make is next time you're on with one of the world's great sopranos, Christina Opelias, who you have some connection to, you will sing with her on Greater Boston. Is that correct?
that's great, because I haven't arranged that with her yet, so I have to arrange that. So next time I will.
But she will say yes, correct?
Yeah, yes,
of course
I
she
think.
will. Andris Nelsons,
Thank you.
congratulations. It's great
It's
to
always
see
great
you.
to be.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This weekend marks the end of the current BSO season, where Andris will be joined by his wife, as I just mentioned, the great soprano Christina Opelias. If you missed that, you can listen to Nelsons at your leisure. The BSO recently released that multi-CD set of the Brahms symphonies. It is beautiful, and their full summer schedule for Tanglewood is out, including 10 concerts conducted by Andris, and the first ever joint appearance between Andris and former Pops conductor John Williams. You can get more information on that and everything else at tanglewood.org.